Have you ever wondered what the simple success formula that big successful celebrities like Joe Rogan use to get whatever they want in life? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down Joe Rogan's simple 5-step formula to bend reality and get whatever you want in life. This is part 2. All right, what if you could see the future before it happened? What if you could predict your own future like a fortune teller? What if you could predict your future by creating it? And this leads us into big idea number 1 from Joe Rogan. See the vision before the world sees it. Today, Joe Rogan's the king of podcasting. Number 1 in the world, made over like $500 million, but it all started in 2007, before the term podcast existed, when the internet was in its infancy. And he was on Tom Green's mysterious online show. And he had an idea that ended up shocking the world years later. One, online media with no grip from Hollywood and big corporations. He saw the vision before the world was ready. Let me show you the clip.
You just need to keep doing this. We need to figure out how you make money from this.
Yeah. I've got a lot of neat ideas I want to talk to you about because I know you're into this computer thing. I think we create a national interweb, we call it, okay? Because we're on the national internet. I think we make a thing called the national interweb. We're all creative people that are online on the web, link themselves together through a series of links, and then create a mass traffic
like a portal
gauge, like a portal,
some sort of
like a portal into the advertising revenue stream.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, and take a little bit from the big wigs, right?
Dude, this is,
I mean, fancy suits.
They don't need to exist.
Yeah.
They're non-creative people. We talked about this before the show. They're non-creative people who are controlling creative things. Yeah. And they want to have their input. And it's fucking maddening. That shit that happened with Chappelle when he left Comedy Central.
Who occasionally give us jobs as well.
Yeah, they give you jobs and it's nice that you're making ridiculous amounts of money.
We've all had great times together as well.
Damn, man.
We're all caught up in this thing
just
together.
Abandon them. Abandon ship.
You know, I'm kind of...
And that sums up big idea number 1. You have to see the vision even if the world doesn't see it. You see the opportunity before it actually exists. And it's summed up best by Mike Dooley. The one thing all famous authors, world-class athletes, business tycoons, singers, actors, and celebrated achievers and podcasters have in common is they began their journeys when they were none of these things. Yet they still began their journeys. So how do we take a crazy idea and make it a reality? How do we be like Rogan, stumbling on the future gold rush of the internet, media, podcasting? How do you take that big vision that you have and make it a reality? According to Rogan, the next step to bend reality with your mind is with your own imagination. Here's Rogan explaining it here.
Life might be just one frame in an infinite movie that lasts forever. The imagination is the real force behind the evolution. What imagination truly is we think of it as like, oh, I can see things, I can work around problems, I have this idea. But when you imagine an idea, when you imagine a product, you imagine how to design an engine for a car, and when your imagination has this idea for this thing, and then you build it and design it, and boom, it's there. That thought, there was no thought of that before it existed. It's not that people were running around thinking of the car and I know what it's going to look like. There was no thought of it. You created this, or it came to you. There was something from nothing, something from what is that? From the ether, something from these, even if it's just these synapses firing in your mind. What is the signal? What is the root of this signal?
And that sums up big idea number 2. Use your imagination to build your future. And if you have difficulty with that, set aside time where you can detach your 5 senses from the outside world, right? Because your imagination will only create at the level that your senses are conditioned to operate. And that's why I'm so big on success hypnosis, because when you listen to it, you can close your eyes and start mentally rehearsing your new future. I have a free success hypnosis, about 1 million people from all over the world have used it, It's right there down below, jakeshypnosis.com. You can check that out for a free Success Hypnosis MP3. And I can hear some of you saying, okay, what if I know someone that used their imagination, but they can't seem to make their dreams a reality? Rogan says it's one word, momentum. You need momentum, and you get momentum from discipline. Here's Rogan explaining the tenets of discipline.
The one thing that discipline definitely does help you with is it helps you get things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. If you have more success, and sometimes a big part of success is just not being lazy and just doing it. Yeah. That's like 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not going to feel perfect every day. If I only worked out when I felt good, I'd be a fat because there's a lot of days I don't want to do it. It's pretty much the same with everybody that actually gets good at something. There's got to be those days you push through. And they're probably going to be more numerous than the days you don't. And so the benefit of discipline in my eyes has always been that through discipline, I get things done. Yeah. I always say that I'm like the most lazy, disciplined person I know because I don't want to do it. Yeah. But I always do.
And that summarizes Rogan's third big idea. Discipline will set you free. But have you ever done all those right things? You were disciplined, you worked hard, you had a dream, you visualized, you did everything the success guru said to do, but you still didn't get what you want. Maybe it's all sunshine and rainbows for you, but for most people it isn't. And for me, it didn't change till I realized I was blocking my own success. And Rogan had the same problem, and he explains the dangerous pitfall that might be stopping you here.
Before I was successful, I realized it was stupid. Long before, because when I was like an amateur, I would see guys that were killing, and I'd be like, F him, like, why is he doing good? Like, that guy sucks, and this guy sucks, and how come he got this and he got that? And then I remember thinking, like, this is a gigantic waste of time. And I got into comedy because I'm a fan of comedy. And my concentrating on people that suck or being jealous about people that are doing well does me zero good.
Okay, that one is so powerful. That one changed my life because I didn't even know I was doing it. The messages that you're sending to your subconscious mind and your brain is, this success is bad, right? Because if you're condemning someone else's success who's bigger than you in your own mind, what you're really telling your mind is that it's bad, it's wrong, or you cannot achieve the same thing. And this summarizes big idea number 4. Stop being jealous of other people's success and bless what you want. Take it as a sign that you can do it too. But if you don't, you are training your brain to believe you cannot have it as well. And I talked about it earlier, but that's why I'm so big on success hypnosis, because the world has brainwashed you and I. It's brainwashed us to believe that we can't be successful like Joe Rogan. You can't be successful like the top real estate agent in your office. You can't be the big, huge doctor in your city. Our brains have been programmed this way. And when you use your success hypnosis and you start retraining those subconscious beliefs, you find out what your big pitfall is. And Rogan said one of his was being jealous of other people's success. It was the same for me, and it might be different for you, but when you get to the core of it, you can change it. So you can check out my free success hypnosis right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com, pinned to the comments and in the description. Now, once we get our minds right, it comes down to one final Rogan secret, and it's often the hardest part. Now, let's have Rogan explain how to get through the hard stuff.
There's a lot of people that are scared of their ability to do something that's difficult. They're scared of whether or not you see someone who's doing something that's really tough to do, and you go, man, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could force myself to be disciplined. I don't know if I could force myself to take that kind of action. Well, if you do force yourself to take that kind of action, you don't have that question anymore. That question, I don't know if I can do it. Well, you're doing it. most people, their associations are to avoid anything that's uncomfortable. But it's so illogical, because when you look at comfort and you look at success and progress and the feelings of accomplishment and of getting past certain hurdles in terms of like how you feel about life, a lot of those are connected to discomfort. Like, discomfort is your friend. It really is. Like, discomfort, not being happy and content with certain situations in life or certain feelings in life, they're massive motivators, and they're amazing at facilitating change. Instinct is to avoid those and just sit on the couch and watch some fucking reality show about dudes who make moonshine.
Now, I admit, that sounds like a nice, fluffy, motivational speech. But neuroscience proves that your brain is a reward-seeking mechanism. Neuroscience shows us that, contrary to popular belief, dopamine is not the pleasure chemical, it's the arousal chemical. Your brain releases dopamine whenever it recognizes a reward opportunity, either real or imagined. Discipline is the gas pedal that allows you to release the dopamine your brain needs to achieve your dreams. So the key is to think about small wins that you can achieve every day, not the huge goal at the end of the tunnel. A lot of people think that the reward is the success itself, so their brain gets conditioned to release dopamine only when the big success happens. So when it's difficult, they stop, they quit. But the truth, dopamine is released when your brain is purposely pursuing difficult tasks that have deep meaning, and that triggers the dopamine to keep you going. So this summarizes big idea number 5 from Rogan. Do something uncomfortable every single day. Have the discipline to get uncomfortable. And what'll happen is you'll start to train your brain to stay in the process, and then all the outcomes you desire will come to you. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is part 2. If you want to see part 1, which a lot of people loved, it got like 500,000 views in a couple weeks, and people were asking for more, I'll link it here to watch that now. If you enjoy this video, comment down below, I love this video. Check out my free success hypnosis right there down below. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the community. Have a beautiful day. See you later.